Hey, hello, good evening, and welcome to our New Year's Eve special. I know you're looking at me and thinking, where's Dave? Where is Dave? Uh, tonight's show is the drunken special, so we're all having a good old drink. Basically, I've had 4 bottles of beer and a bottle of wine. Hello, Christy. Hello. Um, so basically, I think whatever I've drunk, Dave has drunk double that at the very least. So I think he's somewhere in a gutter somewhere, being played with. I don't know, by a fox or something. But anyway, it's lovely to be here. Thank you very, very much for coming out and supporting our New Year's Eve show. And again, I'll do the same thing as whatever Dave does. Hopefully, there should be a banner down there for any donations or anything like that. Um, it's down to the producers to see whether the timing is just right or not. But no, the timing's completely fucked. Anyway, anything you kind of donate goes towards producing these kind of shows and so on and so forth. But tonight is the New Year's Eve drunken special, all about it. There you go. See that? There you go. There you go. It's not like the producer's drunk either. It really isn't. But that's it disappeared.
The producer's currently trying to find the hosts.
That was Alex. That was Alex, by the way. And yes, there he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. Yes. He's the guy who works in the background and something. We've outsourced it to Latvia, so he's just like some Latvian guy who's just out there. Oh, bless you. Oh, Bob. I love you, Bob. I haven't seen you in ages, my friend, because of this lockdown, but I fucking love you. I'm not pissed at all. I'm not pissed at all in any way, shape, or form. This is how I normally am. So, this is our review of 2020. 2020, let's be honest, has been shit. If any of you out there has thought that 2020 has been actually the best year ever, you're either debt collectors or or you're the coronavirus. That's the only thing that they could possibly think 2020 was their year. But yes, this year has been very, very shit. It's been very, very bad, and you've had all sorts of other things apart from the pandemic. You had the U.S. election, of course. You had Brexit coming up. We've had all sorts of stuff going on. We've had people dying. We've had the NHS being overrun. And I started to sit there and think that there's this second variant or third even variant of the coronavirus that's been kicking off. Now, I think, it's controversial, I think that variant of coronavirus has been kicked off by the people who've actually invented the vaccine because, hey, they need to earn some money, don't they? There are two types of people in this planet. There are equalitarians who actually want equal opportunity for everyone, and you have piss takers. And I think the piss takers have kind of won this year. They've kind of won. Apart from Donald Trump. Donald Trump got voted out, but I think he's still taking the piss as he is right now. But this year has been a terrible year. We've had lots and lots of other things as well happening over the year. We've had the pandemic. We've had this kind of huge infection rate, and you know, in terms of my masturbation rate, I think it mirrors the coronavirus graph because as infections rise and we went lockdown, I think I and everybody else out there watching this show, all 15 of you, and including me logging on twice, have masturbated enough, and then it went down, and then we all kind of normalized, and then went back up again. So I think that's the way how we do it. Go home, you're drunk. Oh, bless you. Jay's drunk, call the social worker. Oh, this is brilliant. This is the social worker's on holiday and social distancing, obviously. Now, this is going to be brilliant. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce to you a very good friend of mine. He's all the way from backstage, and he's going to come on stage. So here we all go with wonderful Vladimir McTavish.
Hey, good evening, Jake. Cheers.
Hey.
Oh, bye.
Cheers.
Cheers. Yes. People are probably trying to work out whether I'm drunk or not. Because I look like this sober. I look like this all the time. It's a condition I've had for several years, and I call it resting pissed face. Yes, highlight of 2020. I don't know what your highlight of 2020 or low light is, probably a better word to use. Low light of 2020. That two stand out for me was Boris Johnson pretending to have coronavirus, just because. Fuck it. He thought he'd take the heat off. Although how they diagnosed him, I don't know, because he's permanently sweaty and out of breath and has lost all sense of taste. And the second was Dominic Cummings driving to test his eyesight, which shows what a packet of shits this government are. I mean, we've been some utter shits around this country for years, but that is the low, isn't it? Like driving a car to see if you can see or not. Because let's face it, fucking David Blunkett would never have done that, would he? Get the dog behind the steering wheel. Yeah, let's just say fuck off to 2020. That's basically my take on tonight. Although anyone watching in Scotland, you might think 2020 has been a bad year. Well, the BBC have saved the best till last. Just when you thought 2020 couldn't get any worse, the last face we are going to see on our TV screens in Scotland hosting the Hogmanay coverage is going to be Susan Calman. Thank fuck for that. I mean, talk about mixed messages, right? They keep on putting out these government announcements saying, stay at home, save lives, protect the NHS. Well, put something decent on fucking television then. I'm going straight out the bloody door at 11:30 tonight. I don't care where the fuck I'm doing. I might just stay in the garden and die of hypothermia rather than watch that shit. But it's been a bad year for the entertainment industry, isn't it? You think about how much we worked this year, Jay. Not just that. I mean, think of the people we've lost. We've lost Des O'Connor. We've lost Barbara Windsor. And we're just coming to terms with the dreadful news about Jimmy Tarbuck. He's still alive. There you go. And most towns haven't had a panto this year. And, how can you have a festive season without a pantomime? Pantomime, as we know, good, wholesome family entertainment, but sometimes it can go a bit wrong. I don't know if you heard the story down your way, Jay, but last year there was a pantomime where a member of the cast was anally raped on stage. Yeah. Well, it was his own fault because the audience gave him plenty of warning. Thank you very much. Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh, that'd be a show for the kids.
Yeah. We've got some great guests tonight, haven't we, man?
We have our
we've lost a host.
We've lost a host. We have three.
I've got some news for you, gentlemen. We might have the third host.
Oh, we might have the third host. Okay.
Do we want to go crazy and see if we can get Dave Chawner connected to his show?
It's like waiting for the third wise man to turn up, isn't it?
Let's give this
I want to do Mer. I just want to do Mer, just so I know what it is.
Thanks, Chawner.
Hello. I'm working for a positive COVID test, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Well received and welcome. I mean, I get the point that 2020 is about, it's going to be about sorely missed as shingles, but I don't like this negativity. I think there's a lot of positives in this year. Because if you think about it, actually,
several thousand per day.
Positive test.
We've been able to shout over each other loads of times, and actually, like all of the lovely people that have, Tanya, Kirsty, Gary, thank you so much. Thea Jaff, who's watching this, who's a previous guest on the show. And we need to focus on the positives because, look, with the retail sector closed, shoplifting is at an all-time low. It's never been easier to find ways to avoid spending New Year's with each other's. And you know what? The Zoom quizzes have finally fucking stopped. So I'm very happy as it goes. I would have been in bed by 8 if we hadn't had this thing on. So fuck it. I'm having a lovely time. I've got a tree. It's all great. I think it's brilliant.
Brilliant, Dave. I'm glad you're back. You bring a positive spin into the whole year. What have you noticed this year in terms of news stories?
In terms of news stories, I've noticed that my girlfriend hates me, but is living with me because it's cheaper to split the rent. You know what I mean? I think that's where we've got to. I think, to be honest, I've been trying to avoid the news like the plague. I mean, yeah, being candid about it. I mean, that sums up 2020. I don't know if you can hear that. That's everything. This year, I think Jules Holland is just going to be 2 hours of him playing Damien Rice and crying. I mean, it's been about enjoyable as an erotic calendar of Jacob Rees-Mogg pegging Michael Gove. I just don't. I don't get it. You've done your news stories. Late to this. What a prick. What a twat I am. I'm late to this and I don't know what's going on.
I have to say, that was the best joke of 2020. Just right there. That's it.
Right there.
And that is the first review of my life. The funniest thing we've done is the ambient noise around him. I mean, that is just 2 stars, the Scotsman. So, well, gentlemen, should we bring on a guest?
I think we should, yeah.
Yes, we should.
I am so excited for this. It's going to be a right regal romp tonight. It's time to introduce a man who's been drinking since 5:30 p.m. In 2007. So it's with a real pleasure to bring on a truly award-deserving comedian, the wonderful Nik Coppin. Where is he?
Hello there. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Here's to you with the ghost of Queen Elizabeth over your right-hand shoulder. Have you become a royalist?
Yeah, in fact, I just saw Queen Elizabeth that way, because you've got to move the other way on this camera. Yeah. That one. Yeah, in The Wizard of Oz. She was in The Wizard of Oz. You wouldn't believe it, but Queen Elizabeth was in The Wizard of Oz, and she met a lion, and she met a scarecrow, and she mashed up a witch and everything. That very same Queen Elizabeth was in The Wizard of Oz.
And now she's sold out. Wow, isn't she? She did the series in it, so she's just, getting money left, right, and centre, isn't it?
That's right, she is. And then you've got Harry and Meghan selling out as well. I mean, what is going on with this country? There was a time that the royals at least had dignity. They had dignity, like myself, but not anymore.
Oh, I've never had dignity, mate. And speaking of excitement, thank you very much. You've got a fan in the way of Kirsty Shields. Thank you so much for commenting, JT Scapades. And there, thank you so much. You can keep those comments coming along at the bottom. Also, while you are there, if you want to keep sharing this link, then more and more people will see it. Don't forget, it's free to watch. It's not free to make. So if you want to donate as well, that would be absolutely lovely. There it is. And finally, I'm going to be putting your questions to Nicholas Coppin, who I have to say, this is my favourite book of the year, my friends.
It isn't, and why? And it should be. It absolutely should be, mate. It certainly should be.
I've decided what we're gonna do, because you've got a book in that. I'm gonna test you on your own book. Okay.
Oh no! This is bad. I read it when I first got a copy, and now I've forgotten what I put in it. People remind me of stuff. Oh God! All right, go on then. Go on.
Who am I talking about here? The reason that X got with X was because the guy she was seeing before him wanted a big family and she didn't. ex told her that he wasn't interested in a big family, so hooked up with him. The lying, dirty, randy old git knocked up ex time and time again before he went off to war. Another right old trooper, it seems, in the bedroom as well as on the battlefield. Who am I talking about?
That is an easy one. That is my good old nan, Violet Orton, who was seeing somebody, and then Joe Orton. She wasn't Orton before that. She was Saxby. But anyway, so yeah, he basically said he didn't want a big family because she didn't want a big family. That was his way of wheedling his way in there. And next thing you know, she's got 9 kids. So yeah, that's my nan and granddad you're talking about there. So yeah, that was an easy one.
I have never read a book where the author talks about their grandparents' life. Did that not weird you out a little bit while writing it?
A little bit, I suppose. The weird thing was that particular story. I mean, I went to my cousin's 50th birthday about this time last year, and my uncle Max, my youngest uncle, he told me that story, and then literally a few days later, I wrote the chapter. So I didn't know that. I just thought that my nan and granddad had just been together forever, and they just kept shagging and just kept producing kids. But it turned out that Violet Saxby didn't even want a big family, and that randy old git Joe Orton convinced her that he didn't want one, and next thing you know, 9 kids to the good. I didn't know that story until about this time last year. So straight in the book, by the way, straight in the book.
Well, here's a true story. You talk about, like, I can't really give you jip for this because I had an uncle who didn't celebrate his birthday. He celebrated his conception day. Right?
What?
So
really? How would you know that?
Wow, this is what people always go, oh, well, it's disgusting about, thinking your parents having sex. But there was nothing weird about good old Uncle Oedipus. He was a lovely bloke and great at family parties. But he just went 9 months before his birthday and celebrated his conception day. Very odd.
Very odd. But please tell me that was a joke about Oedipus. You do not have an uncle called Oedipus. Please tell me that's a joke.
But he did celebrate his conception day. So there we go. I've also, thank you very much, Tanya, for your questions. Nick, a question from the audience. I've got another one as well. Nick, I would like to ask you, which MP would you most like to hate fuck? That's from Tanya Goldbear. I think that's a lot more about Tanya Goldhaber than you. But who would you like to hate fuck?
To hate fuck? Well, you know what? I'm not going to go for the obvious, like the likes of Boris Johnson. I mean, you can't. Cummings. He's not even. Is he not really an MP? Well, he's gone now anyway, isn't he? Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you. I'm going to go for Jacob Rees-Mogg.
So why have you you completely? I mean, do you identify as gay?
As what? Sorry.
Do you say you're an heterosexual man?
You know what? Listen, I've been to Thailand. That's all I'm going to say.
But you haven't mentioned every time that I've known you, you've always found women attractive, yet you've seemed completely incompatible of thinking of a single female MP that you would hate for. So it's only men.
Well, I will tell you something. I love to watch The Chase, and I recently saw both Diane Abbott and Edwina Curry on The Chase, and I really liked them both. They were very entertaining, so I can't hate fuck them because I like them. But
okay, I've got to hurry up. I've got so many things to go. Brilliant question from Matt Price. Who would win in a fight between Spider-Man and Wolverine?
You read the book, and it tells you who would win a fight, and it's factual. Who would win a fight? I mean, you can read from the book. I could tell you Spider-Man would win, but I would take ages to go through it. It's in the book. Get the book on Amazon, and you will understand. Someone even reviewed me on Amazon saying they thought Wolverine would win a fight, but after reading the book, they know Spider-Man would win. Totally.
Right. It's peppered with lovely little anecdotes like this, my friend. In the middle of talking about a gig that he's doing with Henning Vey, Nik Coppin then goes, in fact, I found out an interesting fact recently. If you cut off Wolverine's air supply in a drowning situation due to his healing process, it would take a considerable amount longer than a regular person to drown, and he'd die an extremely horrible death, the torturous kind. Backstage at the gig, we got some bit. What the fuck? Just kind of carries on with brilliant.
It's a fact. It's a fact that Wolverine would take longer to die if you held his head underwater. That'd be very torturous. And Spider-Man, being extremely stronger and faster than Wolverine, would easily be able to web up his claws, his steak knives that he can't even throw, hold him underwater, a couple of hours, painful death. Bring it on, Wolverine. Spider-Man for the win. Easy.
So I feel bad because you wrap it up. So what I'm going to do is to wrap this up in a really quick, time-sensitive way. I'm going to ask you as many questions as possible. You've just got to answer straight away, okay? So starting off nice and easy, Superman or Spider-Man?
In a fight, Superman would easily win, but Spider-Man's better.
You've just got straight. Okay, a beer or wine?
Wine.
Too hot or too cold?
I'd rather be too hot than too cold.
Vlad or Jay?
I'd fuck them both.
David Attenborough or Myra Hindley?
Oh, take Myra Hindley. I love those dark images of her with the big fucking hair.
Okay, Ben Affleck to Robert Mugabe?
Robert Mugabe, I like a bit of black.
And finally, penis or vagina?
I'd rather body with both on. You know what I mean? It's good to have options, and I like to. It's always good to have a reach around, isn't it? Go for a reach around.
I mean, that is. I'm not gonna lie. I had jokes for each and every one of them. You avoided them so deftly. That was incredible. I think you've done this before. I think you've
reach around. Yeah, who hasn't? Come on, who hasn't?
Wonderful, Nik Coppin. There he is. Keep those questions. I am now going to hand over to my wonderful co-host. He looks and speaks, Vlad.
Cheers. We'll be seeing more of Nik later in the show when we do our football roundup of the year. However, we're going to move swiftly along, and I'm going to bring on my next very drunk guest. Hopefully, marvelous comedian. Please welcome to your screens. Here he comes, all the way from over there backstage. It's Howard Smith. How are you, Howard?
I'm very well, thank you very much, Vlad. Good to see you, mate.
Great to see you. Yeah, we actually did a very nice Zoom gig, didn't we, towards the end of last week?
Yes, for the lovely people of IBM in Edinburgh.
Yeah, this has been one of the good things about lockdown is we did an office Christmas party to 70 people who were actually nice. They were nice because they were in groups of 3 and now 1. And you think they were a bit lively, weren't they? They'd had a drink, and I think we chatted afterwards, and we both said, "Thank fuck, all those 70 people weren't in the same room together."
Yeah, and what I was amazed about that show was that there was a guy who'd taken time off from his virtual pub crawl. And basically him and some mates had taken pictures of the insides of different pubs and set them up as their backgrounds. And then so they had a pint and then change the background and have another pint. Virtual pub crawl. Brilliant idea. Brilliant. In fact, if you're watching this, go and do a virtual pub crawl.
Really, yeah. It has been. But this is the thing that I think when lockdown first started and, we all got stuck in our houses, we thought, how the fuck are we going to entertain ourselves? But we've found ways to do it. And I was going to not drink when lockdown was first announced, and that lasted about a week.
It's kind of tough, isn't it? You've got to self-medicate somehow. I mean, I found myself actually. I have a Darth Vader costume complete with lightsaber. Yeah, and so one Saturday I put the whole costume on, and fucked off around the local park and down the main street. Various reactions. What I found out is when you dress up as Darth Vader, basically people do not fuck with you. Right. No. Bearing in mind, I'm only 5'5". You know, we're about roughly the same height. Not one single person went like, a bit short for Darth Vader, isn't it? No, they just.
Well, you know, so much weird shit went on this year. People might believe it was real Darth Vader.
Yeah. Well, the best moment, or my own personal highlight, was walking across a golf course. And just seeing these fucking golfers go like, huh? And heard one bloke stood there with a can of beer, and his other mate, they're going to play a shot, and he goes, "Is that Darth Vader walking across the golf course?" And his mate's going, "Yeah, it is." And he was like, whatever. I had a child burst into tears in front of me. I had people asking for my autograph, selfies. Could you do a message for somebody? I mean, it was if you remember, you know, when lockdown was kind of at its peak, and we were all just going a little bit mad. Just a little bit mad, you know, and people were starting, and the culture started changing, and we started becoming just people going out there a little bit more. I don't mean outside a bit more, but just doing sort of weirder and weirder stuff. And you know, and your timeline started featuring more and more odd things. And it was just like, yeah, whatever. None of it matters. However you get through it, you get through it. I mean, I'm in a band as well, and I did quite a few interviews during lockdown, and one question I kept getting was any advice for how to get through lockdown, and you know, my answer was always yes. Don't give people advice about how to get through lockdown. Because it's, you know, it's unique and it's absolutely mad, and none of us have got any idea how to get through it. You just got to get through it the way you get through it. But as for all those tossers giving it the old, if you don't come out of lockdown without having learned a language or learn something new, then you've wasted it. It's like, go fuck yourself. If you come out of lockdown not being an alcoholic, not being a drug addict, not being morbidly obese, then you have won fucking lockdown, my friend.
Yeah. I was going to learn the trumpet.
Awesome.
You know what stopped me?
What?
Seriously, Howard, you know what stopped me? I'm married.
Right, yeah, that would explain it.
I'd started learning the trumpet. Nah, we wouldn't be. So I've been baking bread.
No, that's a popular one. I made over 100 TikTok videos. I must have been I was one of the oldest people on TikTok when I first went on there, and it was great fun, and it was, you know, it was a great laugh. But occasionally I go through my phone and they're still in there, and I'm like, what the fuck was I doing? But it just gave me something to focus on every day. Do you know, just one thing, something to try and just focus on, and you know, you make it and then edit it and then put it up, see how people react to it, and you know, just anything to get through the days, man. And I've been completely invaded by parakeets as well.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. I've lived in my flat for 13 years. I've never had so much as a parakeet in the tree outside. Now I've got like 8 or 9 that feed on my balcony every day.
In Yorkshire?
In London.
Oh, in London. Of course, yeah.
Yes, yeah. The London parakeets. So I'm in my Yorkshire hunting lodge at the moment. But normally when I'm in London, I've got it's Parakeet City, man. It's insane.
So what's been your drink of choice? I mean, it's a booze show tonight. What's been your drink of choice tonight and over the last few months?
During lockdown, my favourite drink has been, and I'm not 16, it's been Desperados. You know, the beer with
the tequila beer.
The tequila beer with a like, you know, a taste of lime as well. I've been smashing those like a fucking pissed up 16-year-old. There's just something about them that I was just like, yeah, okay, that's my drink now.
Well, I can go, and this has been the best-selling alcohol of 2020. Is this?
Oh yes, yeah.
Twice the alcohol content of vodka or tequila.
Yeah, have you smelt the stuff? The stuff that smells like tequila. It's fucking insane.
You get that for £1. You can get off your tits from about 5 of these for like £4.
I saw a tramp outside Boots with both hands under the dispenser, like just like
Well, when the pubs were open and you had to sanitize your hands, I was just not bothering to order drinks. I was just there licking my hands.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I one thing I found out about lockdown. One thing I found out is that basically, isolation is basically a lot like a day I don't have a gig.
Yeah,
it's really no different, none at all.
Yeah,
totally. It's basically, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not seeing anyone. I'm not doing anything. That's about it. And one thing that I have learned, I've got to be honest, is that without gigs and without regularly enjoying the unconditional love of strangers, life's pretty fucking boring.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. Right at the start, you see, I used to think I was a social drinker.
Yeah.
I've realised, nah, not really.
Do you know what? I'm
fucking great at doing it on my own.
Do you know what? After seeing Coppin doing his bit on Comic-Con or whatever it is, I kind of feel like this is almost like an episode of Antiques Roadshow. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I should be sort of describing what this chair is and where it was made and who first sat in it. We should have a queue of expectant scumbags with a load of shit outside waiting to come in and go, how much is it worth? My granny owned it. Yeah, and it was a fucking 10 years old when your granny bought it. It's worth the £5. Get out my fucking face.
Yeah. So we work in a business or an industry, call it what you will, where alcohol is freely available all the time.
Yeah.
Have you ever had horrendous gigs where you've actually, against your better judgment, gone on stage far too pissed?
Well, funnily enough, and anyone who knows me will probably know this already, is I would say 99% of my comedy career, I've been the driver.
Right. Yeah.
So all of my pissed stories aren't funny and are about cunts wanting to
other people.
Wanting to get out and having a piss every 5 miles on the way home. Oh, I'm really sorry about this. Fuck off. Just all that. But I did have to rescue a certain pissed comedian who got out the car to have a piss, fell down into a ditch. And me and the other comedian in the car had to get out to basically haul them out of mud, get them out, put them on sat them on the side of the road, fucking towel them down with anything we could find out the boot of my car. And I thought that was pretty fucking funny, to be honest, because there's somebody who's a complete cunt and we all know them. So
they just fucked off and left them.
I was severely tempted. Before the end of the journey, when they started sobering up, I found out that was worse because they started trying to convert me to Buddhism.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, no, not at all. And if you're such a big fan of being one with everything, get yourself to a fucking gig next time.
That was your karma for not leaving him at the roadside.
It was my fucking car, mate.
Yeah. We've had a bad year. There's no point in pretending otherwise. Well, what are your predictions for 2021? Because it can't be.
Okay, 2021. I think Boris Johnson is going to spontaneously combust. Donald Trump is going to be assassinated, which will lead to civil war in the United States. And I realize that is probably not funny. It's not meant to be. It's a genuine prediction. I think Trump will be assassinated next year and there will be a civil war within the next 5 years in the USA, which is going to completely change the landscape of our whole world. So Happy New Year, everybody.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And finally, because you're a football fan and we're going to talk to you about the game later on when we have our fourth guest of the night, the legendary Scottish football manager Bob Doolally will be dropping in.
Really looking forward to seeing him and hearing some of his wisdom.
Yeah, and we've got the Euros coming up. Finally.
Yes. Yeah. Euro 2020 in the summer of 2021.
Yep. And you know what? I'm hoping lockdown still lasts till June because Scotland are virtually unbeatable behind closed doors.
Well, funnily enough, I really hope lockdown stays because I just love the idea that it's taken Scotland 22 years to get to a tournament. And the Tartan Army, who we're all hearing all the time, are the greatest fans in the world, usually from members of the Tartan Army, won't actually be able to see a single game.
Well, what I think, Howard, is the Tartan Army have been fucking holding us back for the last 22 years.
At last! I totally agree. It's
been quite good seeing guys pissing in fountains wearing kilts on Zoom.
Yeah. Sitting on goalposts in their own front room trying to snap them.
Smashing them up, digging bits of
turf. Now there's an 80s football violence reference for you.
Absolutely. I think it might be even earlier than that. I mean, 1977. That's when they
was it really?
Yeah. 1977, they smashed Wembley up.
Yeah.
And you've got to say, there was mindless vandalism, but it was sporting.
Yeah. Hey, well, look, you won.
You won.
You won the post-game celebrations.
Yeah. If we'd lost, that would have just been mindless thuggery.
Yeah, that would have been setting fire to the stadium, which, frankly, for the old Wembley would have been an improvement.
Totally, yeah. Listen, it's been great seeing you, Howard, and I'll go reflection later on. We've got to move on with the next interview, but yeah, see you soon, mate. I'm going to hand you back to the marvellous Jay Sodagar, who's going to bring on our semi-final guest of the evening. Welcome back, Jay.
Yes, thank you very, very much, Vlad and Howard. It's always a pleasure to see Howard. It's awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you a very, 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 very favourite guest of mine, right to the heart. It's the one and only Mrs. Jojo Sutherland.
Hey.
There you go. Oh, bless you.
I feel I'm the only one that's taking the getting very drunk seriously.
No. Let's do this properly. Cheers. And let's down this glass in one. Go for it.
Do you know what's the irony of this? I've got on my I literally have a glass that says 18 on it. I've got 18. I can't be more wrong about anything. You're in my bedroom as well, Jay. Sorry.
Oh, I'm in your bedroom.
You're in my bedroom. Yeah.
Don't tell your husband. Okay. Don't tell your husband. It's beautiful seeing you, Jojo. It's beautiful seeing you.
Always, Jay. I miss you very much.
I miss you too very much, very, very much. Jojo, look, it's New Year's. Let's do this. What's your favorite cocktail? What's your favorite cocktail?
I will absolutely tell you 100% without any question, a Bloody Mary.
Oh,
I'm an absolute Bloody Mary fan. So
yes.
I have Bloody Mary. Boxing Day Bloody Marys. So everybody's always traditionally come to my house and literally I make it in jugs. You got to have the celery salt. You got to have celery in there. You got to have a little bit of sherry. You got Bloody Mary. I'm a master of the Bloody Marys.
I'm with you. Do you add the Worcestershire sauce and everything?
Worcestershire sauce, a little bit of Tabasco.
Yep.
A little bit, just that kick where you.
Yes.
But you know what? Also, it doubles as a 3-course meal. It really. you don't need to eat if you're drinking Bloody Marys. You really don't.
Oh, I love it. I wish I was spending Christmas around your house. I really do. Oh, Jojo, fuck this lockdown. I genuinely wish I was up in Edinburgh and seeing you and your husband and everything.
Well, he's not husband anymore. There's a news flash. We separated.
Oh no! Oh, I didn't want to cause
Yeah.
this.
Oh, no, it's not. I mean, he's my mate and we're still friends and it's fine. Do you know that way sometimes we were together 20 years and I love him dearly, but he wants to go slower. I want to go faster. It's just the end of the road. It's no big drama. We're all still a family, but we just don't live together anymore. So that's cool. It's fine. It's a very amicable way. I think you have to recognize, do you mean people compromise all the time and you just go, well, no, I'm not going to compromise. Fuck it. So yeah, I'm 54. The rest of my life.
No, absolutely. No, I was just going to say that 2020 is been a very fucked up year. It really has. I miss live comedy. I've said this many times before. I love live comedy. I love the electricity of live comedy. But I wanted to know. I bear in mind what you just said in terms of you and your husband and stuff. But what's your predictions of 2021? What do you think's going to happen? Is it things going to get better? Do you think things going to get worse? What would you reckon?
See, now that's a very leading question, James. Leading question because I am very much. I'm swimming upriver against the tide. I'm against the moral majority. I'm very much down with the conspiracy theorist kids. So
I'm with you on that one. With you on that one.
Either I'm completely fucking mental or I'm completely fucking right. And I hope with all my heart, I'm completely fucking mental. Really, because if I'm right, we are fucked. That is my prediction for 2021. If I'm right, my friend Billy Kirkwood phoned me today and said, just phoning around people that I love and care about, and he said, I really feel the end is near. And I went, yes, one way or the other. It really is. And you can take that positive or you can take that negative. But yeah, I'm not entirely optimistic about I don't know. I want to be optimistic. That's my second nature, is to be, that is absolutely intrinsically who I am, is to be optimistic. But I will hand on heart say I feel a little bit like, oh fuck, I'm not sure that we can believe everything we're being told. And you look at people and it's like, oh, everybody says, oh, the government are cunts, the government lie. I do think there's a global elite, and I do think it's like, well, if you think the government are lying to you, why are you not fucking questioning them? I don't have the answers, Jay, but I sure as fuck have a lot of fucking questions, and those questions
agree.
Right now are being unanswered.
I totally agree. This whole thing about this new variant of coronavirus, I was saying right to the beginning of the show, was whether the vaccine has created something. There's a whole second layer that's going on.
Is because we live in a world where there's so many experts and there's so many scientists, and scientists by their very position in life disagree. Do you know what I mean? Scientists never agree. But I think in this particular case, if we're going to listen to experts and scientists, the scientists that are saying what we should do in advising the government versus the scientists that are saying the complete opposite, just fucking follow the money. Just check out those cunts. Just look at who's going to profit from this. Follow the money. I was always brought up to follow the money and never assume because someone's in a position of authority that they know what the fuck they're talking about. So question every fucking thing. Do not take anything at face value because there are cunts out there.
I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Out there.
A lot, me and you are both very similar.
The Jews put themselves into a gas chamber. Just saying.
Well, both me and Jojo are very similar in this.
My hair is fabulous. Thank you very much. That's a year of not being
able. So does mine.
A year of not being able to go hairdresser. Just saying.
No, my point being is that both of us look at the world in a very similar way, and then what we're actually being fed is not the same thing as what's actually being eaten out there.
Well, I think
and there's a difference, and
there is a difference.
I've always been fascinated. I've always been fascinated by A, conspiracy theory, but B, also in the way how logic actually looks.
You have to use logic. You have to use logic. You have to use common sense, and you know you have to question. You always have to question. You cannot take it, and particularly in the world of social media and of fake information, of misinformation, literally. And that's all I would ever say to anybody. Is like, yeah, you want to, obviously that is a human nature thing. You want to intrinsically trust people, but we all do it. We all lie on Facebook. We all do everything. Just check where it comes from. So the reason we're now in a fucking situation, we're all locked down for New Year. Why are we doing that? That's because we've been told to by the government. But who told the government? Who advised the government? And then who advised so that was SAGE. So who advised SAGE? The World Health Organization. Who advised the World Health? Just literally follow those fucking threads back and you get to 3 cunts. You get to 3 cunts. They come down to the World Economic Forum. It comes down to Belinda and Bill Gates Foundation and the Trilateral Commission. And if anybody's watching it, fucking Google Trilateral Commission, World Economic Forum, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And then just have a little look at technocracy and find out that we are walking ourselves into a fucking prison and we'll all be living like China with social credits. And if you're not a good behaved citizen, you'll be arrested on the spot. But I'm mental and I hope you're all right.
Oh, I love you, Jojo. I fucking love you. Because do you know what? Yeah, like this
But always
is
comes at the end of the money. You are completely right, Keith. Follow the money. Just find out. Neil Ferguson is funded. He is the most fucking unreliable source of information ever. 30 years that cunt has been getting it wrong. 30 years that cunt has over-exaggerated the death toll. He is still employed. He was sacked when he had an affair, but he's still back on the fucking nerve tag, isn't he? Yes, what a cunt. He's back on the nerve tag. He's the one that's instructed the latest lockdown because we're all going to die. No, we're not. We're not. There's not enough dead cunts. Sorry.
Oh, I love you, Jojo. I fucking love you. I really do. Because this is one of the things. This is one of the things. No. Oh no, absolutely not. It's one of the things about live comedy that
Did no one say Calman yet?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to everyone who's laughing at that. We have this little code word between us. So it's just Susan Calman.
Whenever he goes too far, just say Calman and she'll stop. No one said Calman.
Oh, bless you, Jojo. Listen, it's so beautiful talking to you. It really is. It's so amazing talking to you. And
one other thing
I want to ask you. Go on. Let's end this in one final question because Keith wanted to ask what's keeping going on. What are your predictions for the new year?
My predictions for the new year, like I say, if I'm right, we're fucked. You know what though? On a genuine basis, Boris Johnson, because there was a whole thing about what would you do to Boris, and I'd love to put Boris Johnson in a fucking log cabin for a week with Nicola Sturgeon. See how
Save that idea. We've got a round coming up just for that purpose.
But you know what really pissed me off, and it pisses me off about everybody that is yelling at everyone to what are we saving ourselves for? The fact that Boris Johnson said you will have an empty table this year and next year you can be with your family. How fucking arrogant are you? How fucking arrogant. Having had a near-death experience, we are all a click of a finger away from death. How dare you assume that we'll be here next year? Take every opportunity, live every minute, because I thought I was scared of death. I'm not scared of death. I'm scared of not living. So if we're not going to live, what's the fucking point? This is bullshit. It's bullshit.
Oh, this is.
There are people coming round to my house tonight, and I couldn't give a fuck because I don't have it. I don't have it. Use your fucking brains. You know, if you're ill, you stay at home. What happened to logic?
Yeah.
What happened to fucking logic and common sense? If you're
No,
ill,
I
stay
agree.
at home. If you're not, you can hug your mother. And I wish I could, but she's dead 30 years.
That'd be a very awkward hug. That would be a very awkward.
It's like the government campaign that says, drive like your gran's in the car. Well, that would fucking make me drive worse if my gran was in the car. I'd out. What are you doing here, gran? You've been dead 40 years.
This is the perfect opportunity to say, drink responsibly.
Yes.
Just drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. Don't do anything responsibly.
Hey.
Love you, Jay.
Should we down it? Should we down it? You down yours,
bubble.
I down mine.
Bubble. You're a smooth. I'm a bubble, but I'll go for it.
Let's go for it. Go.
I did it. I did it in my daughter's 18th class. Yay!
I do have to say, the room is spinning. There are four of you right now. There are four of you right now.
Somebody say Calman again.
Let's move this on. Let's bring on or all the other guests. Let's bring on Dave, and we'll bring it on to our Bash to Boris session. Hey!
Hey!
Well, there we go.
It's been a long time.
6 months ago, we were 67 years old. Happy New Year! Right, my friends. So what we're going to do now is we are going to talk about how you would non-fatally like to kill the Prime Minister. I think Jojo's going to go for this one first. So, Jojo, how would you non-fatally like to kill Boris Johnson?
Oh, 100%. Just put him in a log cabin with Nicola Sturgeon for a week. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine how tortured he'd be to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day with Nicola Sturgeon for a week? He would voluntarily top himself, I think.
Lovely stuff. So yeah, we've got that. Nick, how would you injure Boris Johnson?
Well, I think to truly punish Boris Johnson, I would make him be Arsenal manager for the next season. That will truly punish him. Then he'll know what fucking pressure is, what hatred is, what failure truly is. Make him manager of Arsenal. That's what I would say. That's true punishment for anybody, I think.
Very good. I like that. Howard, my friend, what would you do?
Well, first of all due respect to Jojo, because living with that sour-faced dwarf for a week would be absolute hell. That humorless husk of a woman could drive anyone to suicide.
Howard,
But what I would do...
Howard, honestly, you have no idea. Literally, having Nicola Sturgeon as our first minister, I swear to God, every morning I wake up going, she's going to fucking come and check that I fucking wash behind my ears.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, she's the worst mum.
Well, what I'd do to Boris is basically I'd remove every word from his vocabulary that is based on Latin. So he would have to speak like a normal fucking human being for once and not say things like, I am masticating. No, you're eating, you fucking cock. It's what people say in the country you live. I'm eating, masticate. Everything he says sounds like it's from it's from some kind of science fiction movie. That's where everybody goes back in time and is speaking a completely unintelligible language.
Called Latin.
It's basically, and I know it's a lazy comparison to draw, but it is like he's like an intelligent Trump, you know, and it's more dangerous. Trump is just out for Trump, but you know, Boris is out for the world. You know, I'd remove all words that are based on Latin. Can you imagine Boris coming out and going, right, people, basically, we're pretty fucked. Will you please stay in, you pack of cunts? That'd be much better. That'd be much better than all of the fuck off. There you go.
Lovely.
Brilliant stuff. Well, now we're going to meet a very special guest. We have got Craig here. So let's bring in Craig.
Hey,
Banter.
you people are trying to solve the problem of Boris Johnson. All you got to do is put Boris in a room with Trump for a week, and he'll just disappear because Trump's ego will take over.
No, that's a 50-50 fight. That's a 50-50 fight, and that maybe go to the late rounds.
Let me tell you
Can I
something.
just ask? I thought we were getting Craig Shanak from Los Angeles, not giant haystacks from 70s wrestling. What the fuck has happened now? Where-
You can
it's
fuck
like-
off. I'm going to say a lovely hello to you. Craig, I love your lovely face.
I thought we were getting Craig from Bros.
I'm
Gutted.
I'm coming to JoJo's house tonight because fuck it. She doesn't look as sick as she did during the last pandemic.
Now you're going to hear the dulcet tones of fucking Tom Stade.
Hey, I like Nick's Arsenal idea. That would be a fun. Yeah. I have to give double points to that one.
Yeah, the only thing is, I think the first thing Boris would do would try and take you out of the league. Yeah, try and take you to a different. It'd be like Brexit.
Anyway.
Brexit. Get out of the Premier League. Brexit.
Yeah. Premiership exit. That's it. Well, that's going to happen anyway. So.
Yeah, I think that's a done deal anyway.
I think you've got to keep. It's like Boris is in many ways like Arsenal. If Boris was good and politicians were good, what would we have to fucking moan about and make comedy about? Same with Arsenal. If Arsenal started winning shit, that'd be fucking boring. What would we moan about? Be nothing. Nothing to moan about.
Is that why your act took a dip in the early 2000s when you were doing Arsenal were doing really well?
When did I have an act? Please.
Wait a minute. Hey, Nik Coppin. Wait a minute. You're making fun. Nik Coppin is an author.
I'm an author.
Yeah.
I'm an author.
Hey.
Jojo's got the book.
I actually bought that book. I actually bought that book, and it took me 2 days to colour it in.
Well, I put pictures in it for you, Howard. I put pictures.
By the way, has anybody noticed how Craig's internet in Canada is fine and Dave's in North London is fucked?
Oh my God, you've been
Look at
giving
that.
them away. Like
Jay, where is your copy? Come on. We're both brown people. Support the brown people. Where is your copy?
Ordered it as yet.
Hey, I still owe you a review.
You do. Where's my review? Come on, Craig. Get my review.
Please do it now.
I'll do the review right now. Aside from some spurious lying content about my football days, and JoJo can appreciate this
Yes, I
because
can.
it's all her fault.
Lost against the hip.
Jojo saw it happen.
I have to say that everyone has accused me of letting a goal in on purpose, and I assure you, it was my complete ineptitude that led to that goal.
I think Jojo's daughter paid you off, didn't she?
As Nick has
My
pointed
daughter
out, all he
played
had to do was not move.
It was stand still. All you had to do was stand still. You went to kick the ball, and it went under your foot. Just don't move.
I actually lifted up my foot like I was gonna just trap it, like real cool, like and it just slipped right under. Let's put it this way: it was probably my best Edinburgh comedy moment. But it happened to be at 9:30 in the morning on a Sunday, so no one saw it but you guys.
That was like that moment of like just do nothing.
Well, that is exactly what we're here for, but unfortunately, I do have to be the horrible heavy hand and move on to our wonderful Bob Doolally. We've got him coming up next.
Hi, yes,
Hey!
yes, marvelous to be here. I'm here. I'm in Qatar, getting ready for the 2022 World Cup. and I'm here with a sports review of the year. And I'm also going to host my charity auction. I'm auctioning off my Scotland jersey because I wore my Scotland jersey with pride. My son wore it at Pride. I was fucking pissed off about that. Don't mind. And the winner of the charity auction wins. I've just got the local prizes here. They win a diving suit. Yeah, a minute, I've misread that. That's a divan suite. Anyway, we'll do the charity auction after I've brought back all the guests. We're going to talk about what the future holds for the world of sport in 2021. So, Mr. Nik Coppin, Arsenal fan, you'll be looking forward to 2021 with a great sense of expertise.
Well, we've won 2 games back to back now, so
Well done,
you know, yeah. So clearly it was against Chelsea and Brighton. So clearly we can beat teams that play in blue. Well, the shit teams play in blue. Man City and Everton. Not Chelsea, Brighton. Yeah, I predict, and this is Howard's going to laugh at the very least. Come December 2021, in the next season, I predict Arsenal will be top of the league. Come December.
Hey, listen.
Actually, do you know what? I think he might be right. They might well be top of the championship in December 2021.
Yeah,
I didn't say would be.
yeah. Fair point.
Howard, there you are, Leeds United fan, and it's not been a great. It's been a great year for the team.
Yeah. You nearly got that wrong, didn't you? It's been
a great year for the team.
It's been brilliant.
You've lost some Leeds legends, haven't you? You've lost.
The lockdown. Well, coronavirus has hit Leeds very hard. We lost Jack Charlton. We lost Norman Hunter. We lost Trevor Cherry.
It's been Jack, and you lost Leeds legend Peter Sutcliffe.
Actually, Bradford legend.
Was a Bradford legend?
He's a Bradford legend.
He got a bit.
We lost two of them to COVID, Jojo. Yeah. It was.
I'm doing this one today to Nick and Howard. Predictions: Leeds above Arsenal or Arsenal above Leeds?
Oh, Leeds above Arsenal every time. Easy.
Easy. I don't think I really need to answer that.
I love it. I love it when people reference the 1970s and say things like "dirty Leeds," because then you know how old they really are.
Yes,
because it's like it all stems from a game in 1974 against Chelsea. So it's amazing.
Listen, I played that Leeds side against that Leeds side in 1972. And it was absolute. It was mayhem. It's mayhem. Halfway through the game, I had to leave the pitch with a badly lacerated foreskin. And you know what? No one ever found out who it belonged to.
Hey! Can I just say my favorite? Oh, sorry.
72.
I apologise to Craig Shearak. We're talking about soccer.
Hey, I'm a professional soccer player. Just read Nik Coppin's great book.
There you go. Read the book. Craig was the greatest goalkeeper of all time. The most entertaining goalkeeper of all time.
And it's also nice to see that Nick's local post office is reliable, and the copy he posted you to Canada has arrived.
I'm in Los Angeles.
I do apologise.
But I'm only in LA because I had to go.
Northern, I don't know the difference, does he? Stupid Northern, I don't know nothing, man.
Tell you what, Nick. Best of luck sending a copy of that book to Spain.
Not Yorkshire, it can fuck off.
Can I say something?
Just the rest on the envelope.
Can I just say something? There was meant to be a vague structure about this evening, and one of the questions
there was production meetings.
There was a
vague structure. There was meant to be a question about our favourite drunk story, and I have to say that my favourite drunk story, Vlad.
I know where this is going.
You know where this is going.
I do.
When Vlad and I were booked to do a gig.
I don't know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, who's Vlad?
I know. I haven't a clue.
Or Bob Doolally.
That's right. That's right. Get it right.
Paul Snedden. We'll call him Paul Snedden for the purposes of this story. Paul Snedden and I were booked to do a gig in Inverness where we had been told that the gig was sold out, and we arrived in Inverness. The hotel was shut. The only people that were in the place were the bar staff. And then we all got up. We did a gig to bar staff, and we got so completely drunk that at the end of the night, Paul Snedden was talking to a girl who was a member of bar staff who had recently lost her dad and was confiding in Paul about that. And Paul was being very empathetic and sympathetic because he's just a gorgeous man. And then her boyfriend came across and fucking turned the entire table over us. And we were covered in glass. We were covered in glass from a very, very drunken night where Paul ended up on the floor drunk in a heap.
I thought you were going to tell the story about Oban.
Oh no, Oban was beautiful.
And you see, as you know, I drink, I like a touch of vodka. And I was doing a gig in Oban, and the promoter...
I'd met Christine. It was the first time that Monk had met either of you. And he was doing a gig, and he was drinking out of a bottle. I genuinely watched him walk off stage, going, "Oh my God, he's kept in character." Tell them what happened to your vodka bottles.
Well, get filled with real vodka.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm afraid I'm going to have to go. It's Yorkshire, and there's somebody in another town wants to use the internet.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, but I got to go. It's lovely to see you all. Have a happy New Year.
I'm happy to see you go.
Happy New Year.
Oh, happy New Year.
Yeah, yes, that's right. And they said, "Can you do 40 minutes?" And I did 40 minutes. And then apparently I did an hour. And I can't remember the last 20 minutes.
Well, let's be honest. We never liked Dave Howard. We never liked him.
And I was like, "Oh my God, that's brilliant. That's really well done." Character. As he's walked off stage, he's kept on character. And he slid down the wall. And I was like, that is method acting. I was like, "Oh, for fuck. Oh, no, he is that pissed. He's that pissed." He was that.
The only thing I'd love to say is it's New Year's Eve, and we are getting drunk, and all of the guests that have been on tonight are a very, very good friend of ours. Whatever you donate, literally donates into our living fund.
You absolutely are pissed. You can't.
I am pissed.
Yeah, he can't speak.
Loving it.
Why can't you lot can't handle your booze? What is wrong with you lot? Handle your drink, man.
Fuck off, Coppin. You fucking.
Anyway, we're going to move straight on to the next section of the show. I'm not involved in this bit because I'm going to go away and come back as somebody else. But he's going to host this. He should have been there, but apparently he's had to fuck off to, I don't know, do fuck knows what. And this is about whether what our predictions are for the 2021 Edinburgh Fringe, which is a festival in Scotland where a bunch of privileged cunts from England come up and take over our city.
Yeah, I think we might reclaim it this year. I think
so beautiful.
Normal, but
I think you might. I think you might. I think
this is beautiful. This is beautiful. Jojo, I love you. I so love you.
I love you more. I love
but
you more.
This is the most beautiful moment ever. It is literally for comedians who
but hey,
your hair is cut beautifully.
So is yours, Yours
The
is
one
cut marvelously. It's been cut by nature.
My haircut was all good.
Speaking of Edinburgh,
my house anytime. I'm not.
I just told a joke that I think is Jojo's joke.
Oh.
Go on, tell it again.
To my niece, who should not have. She's about 15, so
what was the joke?
it's mummy. It's like
hey.
What's I think it was what's a blowjob? Oh, it's mummy's got jewelry.
Blowjobs are great, aren't they?
Yeah,
I love this segment with Jojo saying blowjobs are great. Because that is the very dream any man has ever had ever in the life of ever.
I'm gonna love to leave you.
I have literally no idea what Jojo said.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
It's beautiful seeing you, Jojo. Take care.
Darlings, honestly, I love you very much. Happy New Year.
Jojo, Happy New Year.
I love you too.
It probably will be fine. As long as I'm not right, everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Take care, Jojo.
Can I just ask, was that Jojo's hand or a giant penis just to the side of the screen? That was a fucking giant penis. It's a giant penis. Look at it. It's a giant penis. It was a giant penis. I'm telling you. I think it was Jojo's penis.
Hey, look who we have in the room.
See, you're making up your own franchise now, Coppin.
Yeah. Jay and Craig. Craig, it's been beautiful having you here. It's been really beautiful having you here. But we do have to wind up our final show for 2020. It's been lovely.
Sorry, Jay. Was that final show for 2020 or final for 2020? Was the year 2020 or was
this is what you sound like, TJ. I was just going to say, as the comedian, Vladimir Bob McDooley McSnedden, Nik Coppin wrote a book. I remember what.
Right, guys. We still have we're very guest light and host light now. We've lost one host and one guest. We lost two guests. We still have one final game. We have one final game. You're dead right, Gary Manheim. This is like Christmas with anybody's family. We have one final game to play, which is Mask Tasker. It's a game we play every week. It's a game that involves a task based around a face mask. So, Craig, have you got a face mask? Yeah, Christy. Oh, by the way, Christy, Happy New Year. It's New Year already over there in Australia. Great to see you. This is the comment from I think our most loyal viewer. I think she's watched every single show. Christy Shields from Melbourne, and it is God knows what, 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, and we are pissed. Right, guys, get masks on, and what we're going to do is this is meant to be. This might be Dave Chawner hosting this part of the show, but he is, I don't know, he's climbed up his own Christmas tree. In Dave's absence, it should have been Jay hosting this part of the show, but he appears to have now completely given in to the whole concept that this is a show about getting pissed. What we're going to do, we are going to put on a face mask and see how quickly we can drink a pint of beer wearing a face mask.
I got to get a pint.
Yeah, and for you, Craig, it's what? 10 o'clock in the morning? Something like that?
Yeah, it's too early for a pint of beer. Hold on, I'll be right back.
The room is still spinning.
It's just you and me, Coppin.
The way it should be.
Yeah, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, and here we go. I've got to concede there, Nick, because
only
I've
have wine.
been drinking this through my mask. Have you got a hole in your mask?
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it does.
No.
No,
No.
this is such a shit mask. I can actually drink through it. Hey, the winner of Mask Tasker, the last final Mask Tasker of 2020, has been Nik Coppin.
Just so you know, I did not cut a hole in my mask before the show. Absolutely not. I did not. That's if anyone says it, it's a fucking lie. All right, I did not.
Listen, guys, this show has been what it's been. I think we billed it as being a drunken New Year special. I think we possibly undersold it in that regard. And here we go. Oh, great, Mr. Shane, drinking wine at 10 a.m. or whatever time it is over in your way. My co-host, Jay Sodagar, looked like he may have had to go to the toilet. What end of his body is in need of the toilet? Who knows? We're going to wrap up now because we have overrun by something like fuck knows how much, quarter of an hour. One final request for those of you still watching. Thank you very, very much. Thanks for sticking with us over the last few months. If you have the time, remember the donations line. We'll get that up on the screen for the final time. Oh, someone get Jay a bucket. Yes, well done. Well done, Keith. I think Jay does need a bucket. Yeah, PayPal.me FreeFest Online. That is where, if you think we need any more money for any more booze, and if you think Nik Coppin might need some money to get a new face mask. You're right, Christy.
This cost a lot. It's ruined my mask.
Listen, guys, have a great 2021. It can't be worse than 2020 has been. Wherever you are for the next, well, in the UK for the next 2.5 hours, enjoy Hogmanay, New Year's Eve, call it what you like, wherever you are in these islands. Have a very, very happy New Year. We see you again next Thursday, 7th of January. Take care. Stay safe. Good night.